Back in 2018, I got hurt at work. And like most people, I trusted the system. I trusted the doctors. I trusted the insurance. I trusted this process. I didn't know the real story was being rewritten behind my back. Years later, when I finally got access to my food workers comp file, I learned something I was never supposed to see. Numerous injuries. Injuries that doctors diagnosed and documented were hidden, minimized, or erased. These weren't imaginary, these weren't self reported, these were medical findings written by licensed doctors here in Texas. And yet, inside my file, many of those injuries were quietly pushed aside or made to look insignificant. Not from different workers, not from different cases. These were my work related injuries, my medical truth, and every single one of them was controlled by the same insurance carrier, the Texas Mutual Insurance Company. The pattern was impossible to ignore: the same injury descriptions, the same denial codes, the same excuses, different dates, same outcome. That's not a clerical error, that's a system. Inside the clinic, the treatment didn't feel like care, it felt like containment. Questions designed to trap me, exams designed to downplay my pain, reports written to protect the insurer, not the worker. And when you try to get help, the door closes. Attorneys turn you away, not because you're wrong, but because the system is built to make your case unprofitable, unmanageable, or unwinnable. That's how injured workers get isolated. That's how the system keeps control. Here's what most Texans don't know: Texas is the only state where employers don't have to carry workers' comp. They can't subscribe or they can't opt out completely. If they subscribe, workers lose their right to sue. That's the grand bargain. In exchange, workers are supposed to get medical care and income benefits. The Division of Workers' Compensation, also known as the DWC, oversees this system. They make the rules, they handle disputes, and they regulate the insurance companies. But they don't pay claims. The insurance carriers do. Workers' comp is supposed to cover medical treatment and replace part of your lost wages. Temporary benefits while you heal. Impairment benefits if you're permanently injured. Lifetime benefits for the worst injuries. But here's the truth: the insurance company decides everything. They decide what they think your injury is, right? They decide what treatment they think you deserve. They decide whether they think your injury is even work related. And if you disagree, you're thrown into a long dispute process. Conferences, hearings, appeals, all while you're hurt and not getting paid. And the biggest carrier in Texas is the Texas Mutual Insurance Company. By design, you guys, the TMIC. They were created by the state of Texas. They operate under state authority. They're not just another private company, they're a quasi insurance company with protections and influence that ordinary carriers don't have. In other words, they're making money off of previous Texans' tax dollar, and they're getting paid big time. And here's something most workers never hear: the TMCI has paid employers massive bonuses for reporting no work accidents. So you don't got to do the math behind this. Employers don't report work accidents. And see, the sum that they pay out just a couple years ago was $200 million. When employers get rewarded for zero accidents, injured workers get erased. Their injuries get minimized. Their cases get buried, their truth gets rewritten. So, this is episode 2. And now that I've uncovered how many of my doctor diagnosed injuries were erased, I'm exposing everything one episode at a time. Even if you're not in Texas and you find these videos relatable to your state, it's because listen to my story. I think this is spreading throughout the United States of America. This is 8 years later. This is 2026. So, if you know anybody, even you may be an injured worker going through this crazy process and you can't find an attorney, smash the like, share these videos, help me to get my voice out there all the way to every politician in Texas and across the United States of America. This ain't right. This ain't legal. And I'm doing my best to help educate every one of you. Because when my story gets out there, this benefits every worker here in the United States of America. We're American citizens. We shouldn't be mistreated this way. Y'all have a good week. It's time to be civil. It's time to listen to one another. That's power. That's what it means to be a man and a woman. We gotta help each other because we're fellow citizens throughout this beautiful, great United States of America.